Hello, my name is Chappie Ferrer. I'm the Executive Director of Military Outreach USA and the founder of Stand By Me Heroes. I'm an NCO, an Iraqi vet. I served in the 82nd and 7th Army. I'm also a licensed minister and a chaplain for multiple organizations. What I want to talk to you about is our framework, a framework that will help veterans that are struggling with moral injury, post-traumatic stress, military sexual trauma, and other issues that we must face, that we must confront, and we must be able to manage on a daily basis. We, of course, will continue to use our Warrior of Hope manual in partnership with a Crosswinds Foundation.org. If you go onto their website, you're able to purchase one of these manuals. And we will continue to talk about these two DVDs, The Invisible Scars and Honoring the Code. Extremely valuable tools as part of our recovery, as part of us being able to manage our issues. And many of us do come home with post-traumatic stress, moral injury, these type of issues that we have to confront, that can be managed, that can be overcome. So let us begin. What we're going to talk about is probably the most difficult thing for you to do, and that's to partner with another. When we're in the military service, we comprise of teams. These teams work together. We train together physically, mentally, and hopefully spiritually. We prepare for the mission. And some of the missions that we're involved in take months of preparation. But we do this as a team. The idea when you come into the civilian sector that you could do things on your own is a myth. If you believe this, you've created your own lie. The truth is that we always operate. Where two or more are gathered, we do better. So with a team ideology, we can proceed forward. We can make changes. We can improve not only our lives, but let's not forget, families are impacted by this as well, our families, and so is the community. So when we talk about partnering, I know the instinct is to be alone. That cannot be the outcome if you look to overcome. So let's talk about partnering. John Maxwell, if you've never read any of his books on leadership, you should do so. He said, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with a team. Now, since 2008, Stand By Me Heroes has been working with veterans, officers, NCOs, first responders in helping them toward managing those issues. But it's a team effort. And there's nothing better in that team effort when you bring in the family and you help them. And when you get to see the spouse, the children, finally, after looking at these videos, finally, when they look at these, they begin to understand with greater clarity the issues that we face. So what's the main idea here? Moral injury, post-traumatic stress, sexual military trauma, other traumas, they can be overcome, never alone. And I've had many individuals throughout my years that have said they could do it alone. It never ends well. Also, I want you to understand, we have a team of Foxhole Soul Counselors across the country that are there to help you. We're working with houses of worship to provide them the fundamental training. And not only them, but we're working with veteran service organizations. My vision is that there would be one or two Foxhole Soul Counselors per veteran service organization out there. Because within your teams, within your group, within your post, there are those quiet individuals that are desperately asking for someone to stand by me. Again, as you've seen all our videos that we have constantly reiterated, we're looking at the whole person, mind, body, and soul. Please try not to be one or two dimensional. Our numbers show It never works. It never has. It never will. Leave the spiritual aspect out of this healing process, and I'm not referring to a religious process. I'm speaking to a spiritual process that is based on faith, your personal relationship with God. We look to heal the whole person, and we have seen not only that this has helped and benefited each individual, but often these individuals have come back to become Foxhole Soul Counselors themselves. So the most important question that we're going to ask is, who's got our six? As I've stated in one of the previous videos, when I was on that countdown of 100 days before I got out, I was excited, who wouldn't be, until somewhere along that reduction in days, meeting that day in which I would become a civilian, it became scarier. There was so much I didn't know. I had a wife, still do, and children. And so things became quite scary. When I partnered with others and they began to help and they began to offer assistance, to provide guidance, therein is where my success began. We'll guard your six. We've been there. We've done this before. Many have. And they've come out successfully, but it was always a team effort. So partnering with others, we understand as now veterans, and our soldiers currently guarding the gates of freedom understand this quite well, and their families, we understand the sacrifices that are needed. First, we're in high school, we want to see the world, we join the military, then all of a sudden we're alone. And we begin to develop this relationship with our friends within our units. This is where partnering becomes most important. 2 is always better than 0. And if it's just you and you alone, you will not, again, go very far. It takes team effort. And if you have better practices, experiences that you've gone through, you can help others to help them avoid those. And remember, most of our veterans today come out of the service with families, and they come back into a community. So there's much that we can help, in which we can help each other through partnering. Also remember, iron sharpens iron. So as we become stronger, as we become more experienced, as we become more helpful to one another, we're lifting up that brother who is struggling, that sister who is struggling with these situations, and we're helping them to do better in not only managing, but also that they may be able to help others as well. Always remember, the bottom line is this will include family. So it's important that family becomes part of that team so that they too can learn. When we're talking about moral injury, well, not a lot of discussion on moral injury. There are several that are now leading the effort, and Military Outreach USA will continue to lead the effort when it comes to speaking on the issue of moral injury. Moral injury is a spiritual issue, and it cannot be helped with drugs. It cannot be helped with psychology. It can only be helped through spiritual tools that we use, whether it's your devotional, a private and personal devotional that you may have, and prayer. It's breaking down of the moral code. That's what a moral injury is. It's where your beliefs are no longer or have been challenged, and you're struggling with what you've learned all your life. And when you're faced with a combat situation and you have to pull the trigger, well, things move pretty quickly, and later you become somewhat confused. So we're talking about partnering with individuals who understand these issues of moral injury, of post-traumatic stress, how they have been able to not only deal with these situations, but overcome. And we overcome those as a team. So Military Outreach USA will continue to lead the effort when it comes to moral injury, to lead the effort in our mission to reduce this number of 22 plus. How many other organizations are focused on a very specific mission as this? So still, when we're talking about partnering with others, there are essentials for recovery that are needed. Do we have every answer? Not individually, but collectively, as we continue to grow, we continue to learn more and more how individuals from different ethnic groups, different religions, because we all have commonality in the issues that we face. And there is a common and effective method to meeting these challenges. So establishing those essentials of recovery is part of what we do. And we continue to grow in this area because no two people are alike. We clearly understand that. What I'd like to reemphasize is the need. Honoring the code, invisible scars. This is where the healing becomes. Please include your family, your spouse, in these to watch together so that they too may understand the difficulties that you will be facing. There is the issue of military sexual trauma. Not an easy discussion. It occurs with both men and women. If you look at the information that we provide here, you will know that this will continue unless we make the courageous effort to stomp it out. We can do it. We just need the right leadership. So this is an issue that faces both our women and men, and we ask that you would consider contacting us. We try to partner up, women with women, men with men, Marines with Marines, Airborne, and so forth, Navy, all the branches, Air Force, Coast Guard, we try to partner them up as best as we can. But when it comes to military sexual trauma, we do have some special folks that are very good at helping, at mentoring, at partnering with you to overcome this very sad situation that continues to occur. Lastly, I want to remind us that we have an opportunity for those of you who have overcome, who understand the team concept, small groups who've worked with other veterans, other active duty soldiers that are struggling with these issues. We welcome you to come and join us and consider to become part of our team of Foxhole Soul Counselors, that we may work with individuals and reduce this number of 22 plus. Thank you.